Good afternoon, everybody. It is another weekend. I am back out at the bus. Probably just going to be me today. Christina had LASIK surgery yesterday because, she doesn't like to wear glasses. Makes snowboarding and hiking easier if you don't have glasses on. I can wear contacts, she cannot. Anyway, I'm back today to finish up the windows and come around to the back here. I only have a window and a half left, so and I've got to take these back windows have to come out, the back panel has to come off, so I can get at the rivets that are all up in here, so that we can take that back panel apart, because that's where the raise is going to happen. After that, I'm ready for the raise. So I'll have to get some steel, measure it all up, figure out what we need, order that up, and I took the last week of March off, which is in 2 weeks from now, for this recording. So I'll be here for the whole week. Dad and I just going crazy getting this roof up in the air so that we can get it ready to put back together. Desperately want to use this thing. Okay, I brought my little pancake air compressor that I use for everything around the house, filling tires, all that kind of stuff. I just want to talk about for a second using the air hammer with this. Now, it's a 6-gallon tank, so it's not much air. It's a max of 150 psi. It'll do 2.6 cubic feet per minute at 90 psi. Now, that's not going to be enough to run this thing for long, this air hammer. But I wanted to bring it, charge it up, fill it full, and then I'll hit a few of the rivets, and we'll see how well it keeps up. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will keep up just fine, but we're gonna find out. All I have left on the windows on the side here is just this half a window, and then this last window, and I'm gonna have to remove this panel so I can get the screws out on that side. That one's actually riveted. Yeah, I gotta take that all apart, so I gotta get that off too. So that's where we're starting. Four rivets I got out with my little compressor. That's 2 more than I thought I would. But as you can see, it's not going to cut it. So I brought the hose, dragged it out from Dad's garage. I'm using his big, huge industrial one, which I believe is 80 gallons. It's not about the airflow. The little one here has enough airflow. It's about the volume of air. So I just don't have that volume of air to keep that going. Whatever. Got all the rivets out. Now I need to take the seat belt off, which is held on here. And there's one there, or is it there? And then this box down here has to come off, and the antenna is on there. That's all gotta come off. All right, so to get the seat belt off the wall, I'm using, you can see it's a T50 Torx bit, and I'm using a security one, simply because that's all Dad had. But if I needed to go get one, I would just pick up the regular Torx because it's not a security Torx. But that's simple. Up in there, and this will come up. here. I've pulled the cover off the seatbelt roll, and I was hoping it was a Torx bit, but it's not. It's just a regular bolt. Looks like 9/16 or 5/8. I'm gonna go get a socket.
Oh, you gotta get behind that wall.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the rest of those out there already.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking one.
Those guns pretty powerful, Chris?
Huh?
Those guns pretty powerful?
Yeah. Yeah, they work really well. Okay. Hit a bit of a snag with this piece of tin. I took the seatbelt cover off and everything and undid all this tin. It is attached behind the dash, but that's easy enough to deal with. But problem is here, in order for me to get the piece off the outside, it's just a big piece of steel in there. And the rivets for the outside go all the way across to here. Then I realized, not thinking, this rib is not getting cut. This is ahead of the roof raise. My reason for taking this piece off the outside was to keep it even when I raised the window up. I put the same piece on the outside of the window. Can't do that here. So I still want this off because I want to cover this with wood. The other side, I have taken all the screws off now on the outside, and this is just going to come off. I'm going to have to pry it off. This one too, this rib is not getting cut, but this window is raising. So with the window raising up, I need to take this, one of these cover the between the windows on the outside. So I need to get that off so that I can raise it with the window and then just put tin underneath it. I know I could just put tin wherever, but see how it's, you can see here, it's bent around, it just finishes it nicer. And that's why I want to do that. Okay, I was gonna take this piece on the outside off, so I had to take this screw off because it's tucked in behind here. It's just square in back there. But when I did, I realized that this piece that I so desperately want off is tucked in behind here. And I'm just not fighting with that. I'd have to take this off to get this off, and no. So this will be just like the driver's side, where this piece will just get cut, and well, not cut, but the window will go wherever it needs to go because it'll just have to get raised up. We'll figure it out. And we have more dilemmas back here at the back. This is not going to be anywhere near as simple as I had hoped. Not much more complicated, a little bit more complicated, but for starters, these panels in the back have to come off. I do not want this corner. In order to do the raise, these have to come off anyway because I need to get at this rib. This rib, I have to get at it from the outside. It's all got to be cut. Tin on the outside has to be cut. This has to be cut. The thing is, this tin might be necessary for this window. So if I need to, I will cut it wherever I need to put it back in. But the rivets around the outside that will separate this top section from the middle section, we'll call it, are not in behind here like we had hoped. They are right there. Can you see them? Right along the bottom there, right there. I cannot get at those from the inside, no way, no how, because this lip here, this is too high. I cannot get in there to pound those rivets out. They're gonna have to all be knocked off from the outside. We've all seen plenty of videos of how that is done, so that's what I'm going to do. But on the outside, when I get to the outside to do this, I'll explain what we're doing, but this tin will have to be cut there, here, and on the other side, down the bottom, and on the other side of the rib, I'm going to cut up or wherever I need to. But that piece has to come off so that when I slide the new tubing in here, I can weld it in properly. It's going to have to get cut. It's going to have to get welded back in, which just means a little bit more body work, which I've been trying to avoid. So now I'm going to disconnect these back panels so that the only thing holding them in is the windows. And then my hope is to get the windows out today. And that's pretty much everything that I'm here to do today. These back panels, that's it. And then I'm pretty much ready to bust off those rivets on the outside and then raise the roof.
I missed a screw.
I'm gonna gloat a little bit here because I knew this was the case. I just knew. This window casing, I'm just gonna show you the side because I got something else to show you. This window casing was not dependent on this panel. This panel that I just took out. It actually seats in from the outside. I don't know if you can see it here. Hang on, I'm gonna tell you. I don't know if you can see it, it's dark here. Yeah, it seats in from the outside. It's dirty, it's gotta be cleaned, but I was right. So I'm gloating about that, because I was right. And I'm extremely happy about that, because that makes some things a whole lot easier. Now, I'm going to show again why we insist on taking this down to the outside metal, not just leaving the ceiling in, the walls in. I'm going to show exactly why. This is a school bus. This is a country school bus. Now, granted, not all school buses run in the country, but you're going to pick up some of what I'm about to show you. This is the insulation under the window at the back where I just took the panel off. Look at this. Do you really want to put all your money into doing this bus, just working your butt off to make this a beautiful home or RV, whatever you make out of it, and just leave that inside? This is disgusting. This is what school buses are. They are not mobile homes that are built to handle them, or they're not RVs that are already built to handle this. This is a school bus. They leak in here. Dirt gets in, dust gets in, water gets in. It's all up in the side. Sorry if it's out of focus. I don't want to rant about this, but it bothers me when somebody sinks their hard-earned money into a bus and doesn't just take it right down and make sure they've got the best unit to start with. Fix anything that's wrong. Move this down here. This cross member, this is gross. I may need to replace that. That is rusted. The one below it is rusted. This is the most rust I've seen in here. I'm hoping it's just surface rust. But there it is. That's why we took it off. And now with that window seating the way it is, I am so happy. I can't even convey properly on video as to how happy I was when that panel pulled away from the window. That was going to be a nightmare. If that window had to come out in order to get the panel off, I was going to lose my mind today. As it is, I'm having to cut some stuff. I have to cut up in here. I'm going to have to cut down at the bottom so that I can get that panel out so that we can get behind it. And now with the way that window is sitting in there, that panel's not going back in. I will build another frame around that. If I need to put a little piece of the tin, I'll keep it. I'm not getting rid of it. If I need to put a little piece of that tin back in around what I build out of wood, just to seat it a little bit better, make it a little bit more sturdy, I will. But I am happy about that. Let's get going on this other side, and then I'm done for the day. Anybody remember from a couple videos back where I cut this all out like an idiot, but I didn't know any better? It is a fairly important piece for keeping the ribs attached to the floor. The rib at the back has a bracket on it. Let's see if we can show you over here. I don't know if you can see it down at the bottom there. It's pretty dirty. There's a bracket in there that's holding that rib on. If there's not, I'm going to make one. Because what I need to do in order to get this piece off, I need to cut this. I'm going to cut it on this side of the rib. I'm just going to follow the rib all the way down, cut that piece right out, and then I can get this panel out. And what we'll do later is we'll weld a piece of flat inside there to tack it back on, or I'll weld it directly to the rib depending on how nice of a cut I make. But that needs to come out. And there's a few more screws in here that need to come out. And this one is going to pop out just like the other side. And I am so happy about that. Okay, there we go. Back panel number 2 is off. Not as much dirt on this side as there is on the driver's side, but still an absolute disaster. And again, why would you not take care of this? Such a horrid mess. Okay, that's it for this weekend. I'm getting tired. So I got everything off at the back. Panels are off. It's dirty back there, and I don't feel like cleaning it up right now, so I'm not going to. I'm almost ready for the raise. The rivets on the outside will have to come off. We're gonna have to get creative in this corner because this rib needs to be cut so I can raise the roof here, because we are lifting it from here up. The whole thing, this whole back panel has to lift up. So we need to come, I'm gonna have to cut this outside piece off, have to come up here, and wherever it joins up with the outside seam, and that will break it free from this section, will break free from the top, so when this lifts up, the whole thing will lift up with it. The lights, the signal lights, I'm going to take them out from the back. I'm going to cover that in. I'm going to use the top signal lights, and I'm going to put signal lights in the bumper. That'll look pretty nice, and that will solve most of that grossness coming in there. Like, I mean, there's wet mud in there. It's still wet. That was never going to dry. That was just going to be mold. Yeah, so take care of that. So that's it for this time. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got something out of it, not just me ranting and raving. If you liked it, give it a like. Hit that subscribe button so you get what we do all the time. Hit the bell so you always get an update. Even if you didn't like it, let me know. Leave me a comment if you have any suggestions, any ideas. I love the comments. I like to interact with you guys in the comments. So please leave me a comment. Also, we do have our website with a store on it that we have some custom-made clothing and stuff like that. That's at www.genx-ventures.com. We're going to be adding some bus life stuff and everything in there too right away. But right now we got some cool hiking and camping motif type t-shirts and sweaters and hoodies and stuff like that. So go check it out. Till then, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, fantastic. Talk to you later.